Hey y'all, it's your captain for all things creative coming at you with Real Housewives of Dubai Season 2 Episode 1 review. If you are new to this channel, welcome. Please like, subscribe, all that good stuff. And if you're returning, let's get into Dubai Season 2 because Season 1 was very fun and they had a long hiatus, but now they're back. And when I think back to Season 1, I really loved the cinematography. Everything felt like a movie, and the budget was budgeting, and the looks were fantastic. And Ayan really stole the show. She has a beautiful personality, and her friendship with Lisa Milan was my favorite thing to watch. So when they showed, the opening of season 2 trailer slash, things to come scene, I did not like when it looked like her and Lisa fall out. Like Chanel and Lisa, they're a very important duo for this franchise. So I just hope that Bravo's baiting us and this is a temporary fallout. Especially because we know, Chanel Lyon, she got a little hothead and she fights hard, but she makes up just as quickly because she loves just as hard. So hopefully, it's not going to be too many episodes of them two not getting along because I love their dynamic. But let's get into the tagline since, that's how the show starts. So this season, Stansbury, Our Lady of London, Caroline has the first tagline and it goes, "The only thing old about me, darling, is my money." And this tagline is definitely a reaction to all the age shaming that Chanel Ayan did last season, calling her a 50-year-old influencer. Next, you see Sarah's tagline, and she says, "In the land of excess, I find my riches within." And I don't think this line rings as true anymore, especially because you see her two-facedness this episode. Last season she did give the vibe of, wellness and healing and crystals and emotional intelligence, all that stuff. But what she said about Ayan in the press was unforgivable a little bit, so we shall talk about that later. Talene, the new girl, her tagline is "Take it from me, if you know how to stay chill, you will never get burned." And we don't know her yet, but I'm gonna see how chill she really is because right now she seems more like a mess and a party girl, which doesn't necessarily mean chill. It could mean she needs help with a drinking problem, but I don't know. We shall see. Next is Brooks, the other Caroline, and her tagline is, "I may be building glass houses, but you'll never see me crack." And this is a reference to her business empire, which were 2 locations in process as of the last reunion, but she's definitely operating out of one. And we'll talk more about that, when we get into the episode. And then you see Lisa's tagline, Lisa Milan. She said, "The desert may be hot, but I always find a shade." And this is a good tagline because Lisa's definitely shady. She got a very sharp tongue. She's Jamaican. Shout out to my fellow Caribbean gal. So she knows how to, give people the blues with her words, which we love to see on Housewives. And last but not least, Ayan. Chanel Ayan, she says, "If you're jealous of me, honey, that's okay. I would be too." And that was very little Kim of her because, there's that line in the "No Matter What People Say" song where they say, "I'm saying, Queen Bee, look at them, look at you." And look, Kim goes, "True, if I was you, I'd hate me too." And that's what Chanel Ayan was given. So let's get into the episode. You see that Nina and her French fries are no more. Bye to her. But we start with a montage of the season 2 ladies and their kids, except for all the Carolines because Brooks looks like she's doing some kind of spiritual smudge with sage. And then you see Stansbury filming with her boo Sergio. Okay, next scene is a game of paddle with Ayan and Lisa. And Ayan's confessional was very regal. I'm gonna show you. Hold on. Snag these off of Twitter, but look, she's looking like Queen of the Roses, Rosa Versailles. Shout out to the anime people who catch that reference. And this was Ion's other look, which wasn't as dramatic as the rose look, but I really liked this one because she really looked like an African queen to me. And then Lisa had a couple of high fashion looks that were stunning. This was her red number, which was really stunning. And this was the black one, which was, I think, the best one of the whole night, especially with those flowers. I mean, Ayan had flowers too, but I feel like these were more elegant and understated, whereas Ayan's more like Met Gala over the top. So this was my favorite confessional, but basically, Ayan has to, take off her gloves and all her accessories because, of course, she showed up overdressed to the paddle game. So they play a little bit and they get a little drink. And then Lisa invites Ayan to a brunch that she's going to have with all the ladies. And they talk about when Beyonce was in Dubai for a mini concert where, Beyonce went viral for that run of Drunken Love. And I think her ankle was broken or something at the time too, so she didn't dance around as much, but the vocals were there. And they were all arguing about who was closest to Beyonce in the confessionals, all except for Sarah. And Chanel and Lisa seemed to have been in the most VVIP of sections. They apparently partied with the Carters. While it seems like Stansbury and Brooks had floor seats, so they were standing close to where Beyonce was performing, but the VIP people were like up, in like boxes, I guess, with Beyonce's people, partying with them. So next you see Stansbury, and she looks refreshed. Unfortunately, her new house isn't finished yet, so her and Sergio moved in with her friend who politely asked them not to hunch in the house, which she says is driving Sergio crazy. But them two are still on track to have their baby since Stansbury said they did IVF and they have a baby boy on ice. Next, you see Brooks at her first glass house location, and apparently she didn't invite Lisa or Ayan to the opening, but she invited Stansbury and whatchamacallit, the Sarah, that's what it is, and also her ex-husband Zoran, I guess, is her contractor, and they seem to have a better family vibe. But she was complaining about the toilet being broken, and he was having jokes on her talking about if she sit on it, it's gonna break more. And she was like, "Get out." So they seemed to be getting along, but she was kind of treating him like, slave master something. I don't know, but it was interesting to see. Next, you see Sarah. And I'm sorry, she had the worst confessional look. I'm not even gonna show it. This was her look at the end of the episode when she was mad at Ayan. She looked way better. But she had a black look that I didn't like, but then she had a pink look that was really stunning. And then her scene was this meditation and healing session, and she had all these stories of negative experience with exes that were a little bit triggering, so trigger warning. I guess one abused her physically, mentally, emotionally, another one cheated on her. So she's trying to get healing from it, and she says she felt cleansed by the ceremony, which is good for her, but she seems to have more work to do because every time you see her, she's healing and stuff, but then she's doing these sneak dissing things behind people's back. So I don't know. She might need like prolonged therapy instead of these little rituals. That doesn't mean she needs to stop the rituals, but she got to put in work consistently. Next you see Lisa bringing her kids to soccer practice and also working on Mina Row remotely from her laptop and phone on the sidelines. And this scene right here might just be the most important scene that defines the season or sets the tone of the season, because you have Ayan and Stansbury meeting up and making nice Ayan set the tone by bringing a gift. She's famous for her gift. It wasn't a goat this time. It was a pineapple, which she said was like both of them since they're prickly on the outside but very sweet on the inside. And Stansbury said that that's the nicest compliment that, Ayan could say about her. That they're alike and then alike in that sweet way. And Ayan then kind of shade Stansbury a little bit about not seeing her in VIP when Beyonce was there. And then Stansbury took it on the chin. It was like, touche. But her confessional, Stansbury was like, Beyonce, was like sweating on me. I was like right next to her where my floor seat tickets were at. And that whole thing was invite only. So anybody who got to go was privileged. But, these women are, jostling for who's the privilege of the privilege. And Stansbury just lets Ayan have it and gives her toast to being, the VVIP partying up with like the Carters. And then they talk about, their search for colleges for their kids. And, really look like they're bonding very well. And then Ayan opens up about the backlash that she got about sharing her female circumcision story. And a lot of the backlash was from her own people, but also from Sarah. She said that Sarah went on to slam her in the media, and people posted some of the quotes online. So this is one of the you know, quotes from Sarah, which kind of showed her two-facedness because she says for her to take that story and victimize herself. I mean, we've all been through traumas in life, but that's not an excuse for us to treat people in any bad way or behave in any certain way, because maturity is figuring out what your issues are and solving them and helping yourself. It's not treating people badly and saying, hey, I've been traumatized. And that's not what Ayan did at all. Ayan, opened up to her, and it's kind of bad to say, oh, she went through this bad things, but we've all been through bad things. It's a little insensitive for somebody who claims to be so sensitive. So I'm on Ayan's side with this one. And then the next funniest part of that scene was Ayan telling Stansbury that she found out that her mom was older than she thought, so she might actually be older than Stansbury. And Stansbury was tickled. I said she had thought her mom was 65 all along, but I guess they did some fancy tooth dating with a doctor because, there were no records for her mom or even her, so they were kind of guessing her age. And a doctor established from Ayan's mom's teeth that she's 80. So Ayan said that she might even be 50 or more, but she might be older than Stansbury. And in her confessional, Stansbury says she wants to take one of Ayan's teeth right now to check the age because they did give her the blues about being an older influencer. And Stansbury, I think she says she's 46 or something this episode, so she wasn't even 50 back when, the season was filming. I think maybe the cosmetic work has dated Stansbury a little bit, but it's just funny that Ayan might actually be the older one. So you then see Talene. She's a new housewife, and she's Brooke's friend. And she's kind of getting a lush edit. She made mention of calling Brooks drunk and saying, Brooks is a girl that'll, not ask questions, just meet her if she's on the side of the road, passed out, whatever. And apparently Stansbury said that she was falling over drunk at Atlantis at that event with Beyonce, I guess so. Brooks seems to be having Talene's back over and against the OGs, even though she has been good with Stansbury and Sarah, by inviting her to things and, having their back last season. But it seems like this season she's taking Talene's side. And I think it's like team drunk kind of vibe because both of them seem like they're drinking a little too much to me this episode. And the final scene is Lisa's brunch. And Lisa Milan ate this look. I thought she was best dressed for sure. And Ayan and Lisa debrief about, the meetup with Stansbury and how it went well before Stansbury shows up. And Lisa jokingly begs her not to steal her best friend, which again is foreshadowing for the potential fallout between her and Ayan. And then Lisa also admits that she might have misjudged Stansbury since they may have more in common, like loving Birkins and whatnot. But Lisa still leaves room for beef by saying that time will tell if she was incorrect in judging Stansbury. And then Stansberry calls her out for being shady. And she's like, you see, there you go. You always have to have a little stick comment, but that's all right. And they toast. So next, Brooks, Talene, and Sarah all show up together, and they order drinks and talk about how it's winter, even though it's 94 degrees. And I was definitely a little jealous, but to be hot all the time, I don't know. I do like snuggling up, so I might keep my seasons over just hot all the time. And then Talene talks about, her past and being Armenian. Finally, she sang with Jamie Foxx and Christina Aguilera before marrying somebody named Rafi. And I was like, wait, the singer Rafi? But I don't think that man in the picture looked like Baby Beluga Rafi. But if it is, then somebody tell me in the comments, because when she said Rafi, all I could think was Baby Beluga. Maybe it's because I have a toddler. I don't know, but yeah. Shout out to Rafi the singer. But she's married to somebody named Rafi too. Then they all talk about the Beyonce concert and Brooks being super sloppy, drunk to the point of slurring her words, according to Stansberry. And then Sarah talks about how she's helping Brooks to heal before Ayan stops Sarah to go in on her for acting like a comforter to her face before stabbing her in the back to the press. Again, this was Sarah's face when Chanel was done reading her down, because first they start talking all at the table. And then Sarah says that Ayan had been talking behind her back, also to her knowledge. And then Lisa gets yelled at Sarah to stop deflecting. And then Stansberry pulls rank on all of them and says, stop talking and screaming at me when I'm trying to eat this bread. Please go to the side, just Chanel and Sarah, which was actually good advice, because that yelling with, Lisa jumping in was not productive. So then Ayan and Sarah go to the side, and then Sarah explains how she was there for Ayan in the therapy space, but then on social media she saw that Ayan said that she was broke, I guess, without businesses. And then Bravo shows some tweets before Sarah also explained that she posted a pic of herself in fancy clothes, and she was hurt when Ayan made fun of it to her by commenting, oh, now you're modeling, Sarah, haha. And Ayan said it was a joke because she's a model, so she thought it would be funny. But then, them two going at it, Talene tries to bring up her issue. And Talene gonna go on and say that she got issues with Stansberry based on the secondhand info she got from Brooks. Stansberry said it was just a joke and that she was basically just laughing and kikiing with Brooks, but if Brooks is going to act like she was doing all the cackling, by herself, then she's not going to take no more Brooks morning call, which I agree, because Brooks is messy and instigating once again. And again, I think both she and Talene have drinking problems. Sarah then finished their fight on a bad note, with Ayan basically telling Sarah that she isn't a good person, that she's pretending to be, all healed, but instead of getting more plastic surgery, she needs to fix her soul. And then Sarah tells her to stop borrowing clothes, and Ayan goes back to group and says that things ain't good with Sarah. They're not going to be good till Sarah's not taking accountability. And so now this beef between Sarah and Ayan have to be resolved. And there's beef with Talene and Stansberry, and maybe Brooks and Stansberry. And well, I'm most interested in seeing, again, how Ayan and Stansberry friendship grows, how it affects Lisa and her friendship. Because I hope Lisa handles her bestie getting a new next bestie very well. And I just like, again, the fashions. I love these confessionals already. We got so many looks just in the first episode. I feel like in Potomac it takes us like half a season to get 2 looks. But they got it going on. So, yeah, I'll keep reviewing it. Say how you feel in the comments. And remember, you're the master of your fate and the captain of your soul. Bye.